The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Is anybody familiar with it? Almost every audience that I've ever been in where someone has talked about The Strangest Secret, somebody knows about it. And The Strangest Secret was actually a record. It wasn't a book, it was a record produced by Earl Nightingale back in the 50s. And Earl was in the habit of providing an inspirational message to his employees on a weekly basis. This one particular week, he wasn't able to deliver the message in person. What he did was create his message, and then he recorded it. Went to a record company, put it on a record, and had the record played in his absence. When he returned, he was actually surprised because the record was so well received, the message was so well received that everybody asked for copies, multiple copies for family members and friends. So he went back to the record company, had more copies made. In the course of a year, that record, The Strangest Secret, became a gold record. Not necessarily unusual, except for the fact that there was no music on it. It was a speech. It was a message delivered to anyone who wanted to listen. The story of the record is not really the purpose of The Strangest Secret. I just give you a little background there. The Strangest Secret has a very strong and powerful message to deliver. And in the record, Earl talks about a farmer, much like any farmer that's around today. This farmer decides what he's going to plant. He tills the soil. He sows the seed. He waters. He fertilizes. He weeds it. And ultimately, he reaps a great, bountiful harvest. Now, the reason that Earl tells this story is because he equates cultivating the land to cultivating our own mind. And we do that by making a decision. We have an idea, and then we take action through the plans that we put in place. And ultimately, we bring that idea to a concrete results. Who can tell me what the Strangest Secret is? Anybody? Go ahead.
You become what you think about most of the time.
No.
Well,
Forget most of the time.
You
But
become
you're
what you
right.
think about.
You become what you think about. Very simple phrase, but very powerful, very strong, one that I've never forgotten. You become what you think about. And today, probably more importantly, I would add to it, you become not only what you think about, but what you act on. Because he talks a lot about action in his record. So you become what you think about. In addition to Earl and his philosophy, you have Zig Ziglar. And anybody get Michael's quotes? He sends out quotes on a regular basis. Quotes can be very powerful. They're very succinct, but very strong in the message they deliver. Zig Ziglar has a quote that I remember that says, if you give enough people what they want, they in turn will give you what you want. So when you combine those two philosophies, I think that, well, first of all, you're probably wondering, why are you telling me all this stuff? The reality is, I'm telling you because I believe Toastmasters embodies what these two men present in their ideas. You become what you think about, and if you give enough people what they want, they'll give you what you want. Think about it with a farming example. If you have the farmer deciding what they're going to plant and cultivating their garden, that's what we do here. We decide that we're going to join Toastmasters. We have our own reasons for it. I know what your reason is, and I know what your reason is. They both decided to run for office, and they wanted to communicate better. It was pretty similar to my reason when I joined many years ago. I was appointed to lead a group of young executives when I was young, and I wanted to make sure I didn't bore them to death. So that was my reason. That was my decision to join Toastmasters, and particularly this club. From there, I did all of the planting of the garden. I tilled the soil. I opened my mind. I was receptive to new and different ideas that we hear every time we come to a Toastmasters meeting. Then I fertilized my own yard, I weeded it, and I cultivated that land until I got my results, which was achieving my goal. I was able to speak in front of a group, lead that group, and do it by not putting them to sleep. That's what my goal was initially when I joined Toastmasters. Since that time, leadership skills and everything else have come through that. So the thoughts and the ideas that somebody like an Earl Nightingale has and a Zig Ziglar have, we all embody here. Zig Ziglar, in his quote, giving each other what we want, that's what we do when we mentor. That's what we do when we evaluate people. All of these things come together to help us achieve the objectives and the goals that we put in place. The strangest secret. Sometimes I think that's Toastmasters. People don't know who we are or what we do, but the reality is it's not strange and it's not a secret. But you do become what you think about, and you can do it here. Yes, Madam Todd.